So for section 8.1, we are introducing functions of several variables or more than one variable. This is pretty real world. So a company produces two products, X of one units and Y of the other. Then the cost function, obviously, for this company depends on what's happening with both of those products. So it depends on both of them. So you have C of X, Y instead of just C of X, because the dependent variables now, there are more than one. Or if the company produces three items, then you have C, X, Y, Z for each of those three. It's dependent on each of those three items. So if it depends on two variables, then we can talk about a graph in 3 dimensions. So you have this, like, I always picture the corner of a room. So you have the corner of a room here. That's a terrible picture. Let me try again. Get ability to help me draw a straight line. So you have the corner of a room here. And this is your X axis and this is your Y axis here. So the ordered pair X, Y would be here. And then think about this third dimension is going to be Z. And so think about that as the wall coming out of the corner. And so if you add this height Z, you get this new ordered triple X, Y, Z. So take that point in the XY plane and just move it above your piece of paper, and that gives you Z height above your paper, and that's an ordered triple X, Y, Z. So what we're going to do now is evaluate the functions here at these different values. So these are functions of X and Y, and so our answer is going to be some height Z, basically. So we would be looking here at f of 1, 3. So you're going to plug in 1 for X and 3 for Y everywhere. And then just evaluate that. So you have 12 minus 9 plus 3. So 6. Do the same thing for this one, except now X is -2 and Y is 1. So 7 times -2 times 1 minus 11 times -2 plus 9 times 1. So -14 plus 22 plus 9 is 17. This should be G of X, Y. So we're looking at G of -2, 6 is going to be 8 times -2 squared times 6, X squared Y, over the square root of 2 times -2 plus 6. So 8 times 4 times 6 over the square root of 4. -4 plus 6 is 2. So 8 times 4 is 30. 8 times 4 is 32. Times 6 is 192 divided by root 2. So something like 135.76. Here we're going to do f of 1, 5. So plug in 1s for X, 5s for Y. So 5e to the 4 times 1 plus 2 times 1 times 5. So 5e to the 4th plus 10. Okay, so how does this actually play out into real world scenarios? So you have this company that manufactures 2 different lawnmower models, a standard model and a self-propelled model. The cost of producing each standard mower is $80. So you have standard and you have self-propelled. So those are going to be our 2 variables, X and Y. Let's call standard X and self-propelled Y. Oh, it tells us that. X is the number of standard, Y is the number of self-propelled mowers. The cost of producing each standard mower is $80, and the cost of producing each self-propelled mower is $140. If the fixed costs are $5,200 and the total cost function is given by this, where X is the number of standard and Y is the number of self-propelled, find C of 30, 20. So basically, you have, this is your fixed cost. This looks like it's $80 to produce each standard lawnmower for X, and this would be the cost to produce each self-propelled propelled lawnmower, which we don't need to figure out yet, but eventually that's what we'll be doing. So we have C of 30/20 is 5,200 plus 80 times 30 plus 140 times 20. So 5,200 plus 8 times 3 is 24 plus 14 times 2 is 28. That is 10,400. So this is the cost of producing 30 standard and 20 self-propelled lawnmowers. So you can see how this like obviously translates to the real world a little bit better than single variable functions do. So number 6, we have the cost of producing the standard model. The video recorder is $160, and the cost of producing the deluxe model is $220. If the company has a weekly fixed cost of $13.60, find the cost function where X is standard and Y is deluxe. So you've got a standard one, it costs $160 to produce. The deluxe ones cost $220 to produce. And we have that fixed cost of $13.60. So C of X, Y, it's going to be fixed cost plus cost for standard, cost per standard, times the number of standard, right? Plus the cost per deluxe times the number of deluxe. So you make, you have a fixed cost of $13.60, but you only make one of each kind. Then you would be looking at, 160 times 1 for the standard and 220 times 1 for the deluxe. But this would be for any number of X and Y of the standard or deluxe models. So again, this is the fixed cost plus the cost per standard times the number of standard, cost per deluxe times the number of deluxe models that you make. So this is the total cost for this company for the week. So C of 1512 would be 1360 plus 160 times 15 plus 220 times 12. I don't know what this is, but I have a final answer is $6,400. So if they make 15, or they producing, they produce 15 standard and 12 deluxe models in the week, then their cost is going to be $6,400 for the week. Okay. So number 7, we have a grocery store that sells 2 brands of a product, the house brand or the store brand and a name brand. The store manager has determined that if she sells the house brand for X dollars and the name brand for Y dollars, she'll be able to sell 64 minus 20X plus 18Y units of house brand and 52 plus 16X minus 22Y units of the name brand. On the revenue function for X, revenue function XY. So X dollars for the store, the house brand, and Y dollars for the name brand. So the revenue is going to be the cost of the house brand times the number sold. There's your price of house brand times the number sold, plus the price of the name brand times the number sold. So the house brand is X dollars. So she sells the house brand for X dollars. So that's the price of the house brand. Then she'll be able to sell this many units. So 64 minus 20X plus 18Y. And then the price of the name brand is Y dollars. And she can sell 52 plus 16X minus 22Y units of the name brand. So this is your revenue function, XY. This could use some cleaning up, simplifying, etc. So you have 64X minus 20X squared. If you were to do anything with it, you would want it to be cleaner. Y plus 16XY minus 22Y squared. Okay, so X squared terms, I just have the one. Just X terms, so I've taken care of this one. Just X terms, I only have the one. X and Y, I have 18 and 16. That is going to be 34. Just Y terms, I got that one, 52Y. And then minus 22Y squared. So there's your reduced or simplified revenue function, XY. So then this is why you would clean that up. So this is easier to do. So you want to know the revenue if you sell the house brand for $4 and the name brand for $4.50. So you have negative 20 times 4 squared plus 64 times 4 plus 34 times 4 times 4.5 plus 52 times 4.5 minus 22 times 4.5 squared. When you type all of that into a calculator, this gives you $336.50. Seems like a lot of work for not much profit, but okay. So now we have this pharmacy that's selling cold remedies, a generic and a name brand. The store managers determined that he can sell this many bottles of the generic and that many bottles of the name brand if the price is X dollars per bottle and Y dollars per bottle. So revenue again is going to be price times the number sold plus the price times the number sold for your house brand or generic. What are we calling this? Generic and your name brand. So this would be the so this is going to be the generic is the X and Y is going to be the name brand. So the price for the generic one is X. The number sold is 26 minus 6X plus 8Y. The price for the name brand is Y, and the number sold is 22 plus 5X minus 9Y. And we want to clean that up. So we're looking at 26X minus 6X squared plus 8XY plus 22Y plus 5XY minus 9Y squared. So I have negative 6X squared. Just X terms, just that first one, 26X. And then 8 and 5XY, so 13XY plus 22Y minus 9Y squared. So that is our revenue function. So then this wants us to do R of 220 for the generic and $3 for the name brand. So negative 6 times 2.2 squared plus 26 times 2.2 plus 13 times 2.2 times 3 plus 22 times 3 minus 9 times 3 squared. And when you type that into a calculator, I got $98.96. And that is multivariable function. Let me know if you guys have any questions about that.